Good morning. You're listening to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning I have two guests. I have Jason Goldberg and Michel Vermette. Guys, how you doing today?
Doing well, Kemp.
Doing great, Kemp.
It's good to talk to you guys. Probably the big news that happened today. It was announced that most people know Michel Vermette. He's had a busy career in the flooring business. He grew up in Canada, started with Del Tile, and went over to Mohawk, and then went to Armstrong, and now he's been named the CEO of America's Floor Source. That's the news for today, right?
Correct.
And Jason, you started America's Floor Source 23 years ago, and you grew it organically. And then lately, you've been in the news a lot because you've had three acquisitions. You acquired Reliant Flooring Solutions, the Flooring Gallery in Louisville, and JP Flooring in Cincinnati. And we had you in the top 100 retailers list in November at around $190 million in sales. So a really nice flooring business.
Yeah, thank you, Kemp. That's all correct.
Yeah, and you're focused in the builder, in the retail, multifamily, and commercial. I missed one. I think you said there were 5 focused.
Yeah, wholesale as well.
I was looking at this press release. What it says is, Jason, you're going to take the role of chairman, and Michel, you're going to be CEO, but also CFO. And that's interesting because that was the role you had at Del Tile, and that is your accounting background. By the way, we did a focus on leadership on you, Michel, so most people can Google that and it'll come up and get your background. And so you take that role. And then Mike Stennett, who joined America's Floor Source in 2018, he's also there as president, right?
That is all correct, Kemp.
Interesting key word in this thing is they're bringing Michel in to help Jason scale this business. And I think that probably speaks volumes because, like I said, you grew organically and then you grew through acquisition and you're just under $200 million. Tell us about your growth plans.
So we want to grow 4 different ways. We want to grow organically by opening in additional markets. We want to do more acquisitions, which is one of the main reasons I brought Michel in. We want to expand into other product categories, and we want to maximize current markets with the channels that we're already serving. So those 5 channels we're serving, we want to grow those because they're not fully served in all of the markets.
Yeah, so like to take an example, Bill Shrimple's old store, JP, he was big in builder. Always saw you guys at the FEI group, and he was good at retail, but maybe wasn't in the others. So in those businesses you already have, you're going to go back and build out and make sure each of those is in those 5 categories. And then you're going to also grow by finding people who are, like your Louisville acquisition, the Flooring Gallery, people who want a timeout. They're ready to retire. It's time to bring in, a new team to run the thing. So that's kind of the strategy, right?
That is. And, the people component's a big one. We want to find great people that want to join this team.
Yeah, and I think they want to help us build it, Kemp. It's really find people that want to be part of something bigger and want to have an impact. I think this company has a tremendous potential.
And your goal is to be $500 million in sales. When do you hope to be there?
Within 5 years.
Okay, 5 years. So, Michel, it's going to be a little bit of I know for a long time you certainly know the accounting side of it, and you certainly know the supplier side of it. Now you're going to get firmly entrenched in the dealer side of it, right?
That's correct. The good thing is I have one of the best partners in the industry that knows it inside out, that has built his business from the ground up. So I'm in good hands on the dealer side. And I can bring some of the other skill sets to Jason, his business. So
I know, Jason, you've kind of been closely tied with Broadloom, so you certainly know the whole digital side of this business. And you sold Broadloom your retail lead management software, right?
I did.
So you'll continue to be on stage with them, right?
Absolutely, yes.
All right. So when does all this happen, Michel? When do you start with the company?
Actually, today's my first official day. So today is new beginning today.
And I know that you've been living in Lancaster. So where will you live now?
Well, in suitcases in the short term, but eventually when everything settles, I'll be in Columbus. My wife and I will be relocating, and we have the benefit of having our youngest here at the Ohio State University, as Jason reminds me.
Right.
She's a junior, so a little extra benefit of having that combination.
All right. Well, I ran into you, and actually we've run a little story on this. I ran into you at Surfaces, and you were starting a consulting company that was going to be tied in with StarNet, and you're going to do that as well, right?
Yes. One thing, Jason was very gracious. I have a friend of mine, Andrew Oxley, that has run a business, and he's been a good mentor for me too. And Jason knew that it was important for me to continue doing that, and he's supportive of enabling me to do that. And I think living within this new role will only help me be better at providing that training to prospective entrepreneurs. So, and I have a great entrepreneur here to leverage.
Is it safe to assume, Jason, that you're living by that mantra that I think it was the McDonald's founder that said that you can't grow your business if you focus on the day-to-day? So by bringing in Michel and having him involved, you can focus more on the strategy, right?
Well, actually, Michel's the one who's going to focus on the strategy. Look, there's truth to that statement. Mike really focuses on the day-to-day. Michel's going to focus on the strategy. I'm going to focus on the operation. Here's the key. We have great people in all the key roles that know what needs to be done in those roles. So you put it all together, it's going to be a magic combination.
Okay. Well, this is big news, and thanks for sharing it with our listeners. Again, been talking to Jason Goldberg and Michel Vermette about Michel joining America's Floor Source, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.